Well, the deal's been done. Me and my wife have purchased a house in Japan. Paperwork's been signed and we have the keys now. If you're familiar with Japanese akiya, which are abandoned or unwanted homes in Japan, and there's literally millions of them over there, you can pick one of those up for just a few $1,000s. And so it's not that big of a deal. But if you happen to be on your own journey to buy a house in Japan, or maybe just like the content, well, this video's for you. And so we started our journey last summer when we spent 42 days in Japan. And as part of that journey, one of our secret agendas was we were actually trying out different types of houses in Japan to get a feel of the pros and cons about where we might live. I mean, we go there a lot, so we kind of already knew where we wanted to be, but different house types, that's important knowledge to have. I mean, do you want to live in the country? Do you want to live in the city? Do you want to have power, or do you want to have wood-fired stoves? I mean, this is important stuff, right? And so we started our journey in the rental market. So we chose to stay at some classic Japanese homes. And this one used to be a dental office, which makes it unique. There was an updated 1960s home, which had an amazing bathroom, mind you. There was an average home in the city, which was really close to grocery stores. My favorite, however, was the Japanese farmhouse, which was over 100 years old, and full of bugs. This place even had a wood-fired bathtub. And how cool is that? There was even a log cabin which came with an amazing view of the ocean. So a few months later, we began compiling a list of homes we'd like to look at in Japan and making appointments with realtors. And then, with just a click of a button, we're on our way to Japan again to begin our home purchasing process. So the first house on our list was my wife's top pick. This was a log cabin in the middle of nowhere.
The rental car company should never know about this.
Now to get here, you have to travel up past some temples, and then you keep on going into the woods, and then you keep going some more. And then after about an hour, you'll arrive at your cabin.
About that road.
That's what I was talking about.
Is that a drive? Is that dude's driveway?
That's his driveway. I was like, how do you get down?
He must never.
Yeah, so that's why he's been living here. He's like, I want to live back here.
Oh, was that the guy that was driving around?
No, it's for some visitors.
But I mean,
the artist, I said. This is wrong. I don't know where the road is anymore.
it just leaves.
You know Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec? Well, this is exactly the kind of cabin that he would want. Now this cabin comes with yakisugi, which is burnt cedar siding, and is a traditional way of making the home more fireproof. It also helps keep the termites away, because bugs don't like burnt wood. Inside you'll find a wood stove, modern appliances, and even an orori, which is an open hearth fire pit used for cooking. There's a small bonus room downstairs and one bedroom. But here's the problem with this house. A tanuki, which is a raccoon dog, decided to use the attic space as his personal bathroom. And as the poop piled up, well, eventually somebody came and turned on the fan, and that poop went everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. And so the buyer of this house gets the joy of building a new bathroom. And that's not all, because the deck's gonna need some work too. But that's a little easier to fix.
There's also like a maintenance fee of $8,000 a month, which is for like tree maintenance and road maintenance.
And so our next house is located in the suburbs. Downstairs, you'll find one Western-style bedroom, a Japanese-style family room, and one bathroom. Appliances are not included, but the bathroom, well, it looks to be in pretty good shape to me. And upstairs, you'll find two Western-style bedrooms and a balcony used for drying your clothes. As far as livability goes, just across the street is a nice little neighborhood playground.
Hi, Mama.
Whoa, you're a big tall boy.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Lava.
Slide.
Hi.
Fast.
Boy.
The lake. Cold.
Your leg got cold.
Look at it.
But if you walk about 10 minutes down the road, you'll find an even larger park that's big enough for the whole city. And check this out. This pirate ship has got a brand new roller slide. And you may not know this, but I love roller slides. We also tried out one of the neighborhood restaurants, located just down the street.
Wait.
Here, let me. Fancy rice?
Mm-hmm. Now our next home choice is located in a quiet little beach town, and this happened to be my number one choice before we arrived in Japan. This little town is called Futami, and it's most known for its Michino Eki, or rest area, which has a beautiful beach and lots of little shops to check out while you're there. This quiet farm town does have some restaurants if you've got a keen eye. For instance, this bagel shop is located behind a Mikan farm, and I think that's pretty neat. But there's more to this town than just beaches and farms. This nearby resort, called Futami Sea Breeze, has got a lot to do for all ages. For instance, you see that big green slope over there? Well, that's for summertime snowboarding. And right next door to it is a playground and tennis court. And yes, that was a roller slide you just saw there, and I'm definitely going down it.
Hi, Baba. Hi, Baba.
And there's camping and a lot more to do here too. But this is all I can show you. So yeah, as far as beach towns go, Futami's not a bad place to live. To quote the homeowner of the house that we toured here, Futami is a great place to enjoy Japanese slow life. And I definitely agree with that. So here's the thing. Futami, it's a great little town. And I would love to live there if I got the chance. And honestly, the house in Futami was my top pick going to Japan. It's 3 buildings. One of those is a garage where you could store toys or whatever you needed to while you're gone. It had an old house and a new house. But there was a lot of things about those houses that I can't show you because I have no footage because the house was occupied and I chose not to film out of respect for the owners. But here's what we found. That garage that I wanted so much, well, it turns out the roof is collapsing. There's rebar exposed, and all over the floor you find giant chunks of concrete. So it's not really a building you want to put anything in, let alone walk inside of, to be honest. And that older house, well, that has the only bathroom on the property. And the walls are lined with what the owner describes as asbestos. So it's a health hazard, and you'd have to tear the whole place down. And so if you wanted to get this Futami house, well, you'd have to tear down 2 buildings and build a new bathroom in the new house, and then rebuild the old buildings back up. A very doable project, but that is a project, and I'm not signing up for a project. It's supposed to be a vacation house, right? So the last house we're going to look at is located in the city. This house is right next to a train station, and the beach is only a 10-minute walk away. There's a small garden here, which isn't much to maintain. Downstairs you'll find a family room, dining room, kitchen and bath. Also worth noting is that appliances are included in this house. And the bathroom's in pretty good shape, as long as you like pink. And small bonus, it's pretty nice to have the toilet next to the bathtub. Now upstairs, you'll find one Western-style bedroom, one Japanese-style bedroom, and an extra bonus Japanese room. There's also a bonus room where you can stuff your visiting relatives. And let's not forget the extra toilet, which is also pink. As far as livability goes, well, like I mentioned, this house is located next to a train station. The beach is nearby, and we're only about 10 minutes away from our favorite Emmy Full Mall. This massive shopping complex has just about anything you want. Places for the kids to play, video arcades, karaoke, a food court, and even a home improvement store. And I'm not sure what he's learning about there, but when it comes time to texture our home, I think he's going to be the expert. Also located next to Emmy Full Mall is this massive playground structure. And you can't see it, but there's also a kids' water park located over in the corner. And just for fun, check this out, because it's the coolest bathroom that I've ever seen. Well, we've got a big decision ahead of us, so we're going to spend some time with our friends down at the beach while we consider our options. And while we're at it, we might as well eat some okonomiyaki, because you know that sounds good. Okay, so which one did we choose? Drum roll, please. We chose the house in the city. And the reason being, honestly, it's kind of a no-brainer. It was the best value for the money. It was not the most expensive house, but it came with appliances, it's next to a train station, and the beach is right next door. Plus, you're honestly never going to get bored if you're that far in the city. And so, really, it was just the best choice. It's also the biggest house. Now, as far as the other three houses went, well, obviously the log cabin was out in the middle of nowhere, and really doesn't make a good vacation house unless your vacation is just going to be getting away from everybody. The house in the suburbs was a great house. There actually was nothing wrong with that. But it wasn't as well located, and we still had to get appliances, and it was the most expensive house. As far as the Futami house, well, I already told you the problem with that house is we're not moving to Japan and we don't need a project. It's a vacation home, and so I don't really have time to commit to a project house. And so that one was out, and that leaves us with one house, which is the best house to choose. And so that's what we chose, and I think it was the right choice. As far as the home buying process, you may be interested in that. And so it took us about 3 months probably to close on this house. And a lot of that was held up in the money transfer process. To begin this process, we of course got a realtor. And then we have a Japanese lawyer friend, or a couple of them I should say, and one of those represented us on the first part of the process, but eventually we got involved with a Japanese scrivener. I can't tell you what that actual job involves, but they basically were handling the paperwork. I would say kind of like a mortgage broker in America maybe, I don't really know. But so they got very involved in that process. We paid them a fee of about $1,000 to handle it all, and the scrivener was able to finish the sale minus the money transfer, and that got held up in the banking process for probably 2 months. And so the actual process is about 1 month to buy a home in Japan, if everything goes as smoothly as it possibly can. In our case, however, it took 3 months because of that. The other issue you may run into is utilities. And I'll admit we don't have it entirely figured out yet. We do have utilities. It's ran through a third party. A friend of ours owns a business over there, and he's supplying us with maintenance services. But beyond that, you yourself, I can't give you advice on how you might set up utilities easier, because the problem is, as a foreigner, you cannot open a bank account in Japan. And most utilities want to take money from your Japanese bank account. And so without that process, you have to have a third party involved who will handle your utilities. We have ours covered for now, but I will admit that's kind of a temporary thing for a few years, and we'll have to probably find a new option after that. So anyways, I hope you learned from this experience if you are in the market, or I hope you enjoyed it if you just happen to find this enjoying. So thanks for watching. So anyways, that's the house that we bought in Japan. And we hope to be back soon to get that place furnished so we can enjoy our new house.
Not gonna